Okay, is my mic on? Is everything working? Merry Christmas. And you guys are going, it's not even close to Christmas yet. Well, welcome to the Underground Gospel Show. This is episode number 130. Yes, we've done 130 of these things in the past 2 years. It's amazing to me that we've pulled off 130 episodes in 2 short years. Not only that, this is the last episode of 2022. I'm shooting this at the underground at the Technology Engagement Center in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I'm not here right now when you're watching this. You're either watching this, let's see when these shows are programmed to come out. You're either watching this, if you're a member of the Patreon, on my mother's birthday. This will be coming up on October 14th. Now, my mother passed away quite a long time ago. Back in 1995, she passed away. And this is, of course, 2022. So it's been over 20 years that my mom's been gone. My father's been gone since 19. Gosh, she died 1978. So he's been gone for quite a few years. My mom died a few years later in 1995. She was 62. I'm now 64. I'm now old, 2 years older than my mom was when she passed away. And I'm 20 years older than my dad, 25 years older than my dad was. Anyway, so I've been around for a long time. It's now if you're not a Patreon page, if you're not on our Patreon, you're watching this on the middle of November. Will be November 11th when this is scheduled, 11th and 12th. So welcome to the Underground Gospel. It's not even Thanksgiving yet, and I'm celebrating Christmas. What is going on here? Well, I got to tell you, I love Christmas. You know I love Christmas. And so we have red and green lights here. I don't know if you can tell that they're red and green. I'd probably not tell that at all. I can't see it here. I have green lights on here. They're showing up blue, it looks to me. But I have Merry Christmas on the sign. And, I don't even have, I haven't even gone through my housekeeping stuff. Well, this is a safe place. It's Christmas time. Of course, it's a safe place. There's no cursing. It's all blessings, and it's all Merry Christmas. I hope you guys are enjoying Christmas this year. I hope that the recession has ended, that things have turned around, that we're in an upswing. I don't know if we are or not, but here's the deal: we are always on an upswing when we join the kingdom of heaven, and this is what Jesus said. He came to proclaim to overcome death. Now we proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ because he overcame death. And so we don't really, there's a youth group saying that we are of this world but not of this world. We are from this world but not of this world. That's really no place in the Bible. We are a member of this world. We are a member of this community, but when you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you are saved. And what you're saved from is the red side, the red pill. You are saved from hell. You are saved from eternal damnation. And you're brought into the green side, which is everlasting life. I don't know if you can see this. I wear a ring, and my ring, I call it the stop and go ring. Let me see if I can get it. Well, you can't say it. It's ruby, and it's another stone, and it's only found in Tanzania. And I call it my stop and go ring, and it's kind of a Christmas color. It's red and green, because one side's ruby and the other side's zolomite. I don't know. I just wear it because my birthstone's ruby, and so. But it's kind of a stop and go ring, but it's also Christmas colors. It's red and green. And so it's all about the fact that, basically I wear the stop sign as far as up and the go sign as far as down. And so like a stoplight, stop and go, red and green. I don't know where I'm going with all this, except I got red and green lights here. I got green lights here, and I got Merry Christmas beside me. If you're a Patreon, you're watching this October what does this have to do with Christmas? If you're not a Patreon, you're getting this in November. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. And I'm doing my Christmas show. Well, here's what's going on. I've recorded these shows back in July. And because I knew had some things going on in my life and I wasn't going to be able to record live streaming shows for the rest of the year. So we're going to be done with the streaming, but I wanted to get them done because I know you guys are, tuning in every week, and I wanted to have content because content is king. It always has been in my world, and so I wanted to make sure that I had some shows up, and so when I say we, I've we, as far as the community of believers who follow me and who follow the show, they don't really follow me. I hope you don't follow me. I hope you follow Jesus. And I hope you watch the show just for some entertainment, some fun. We're on every Friday and Saturday night. I didn't even do my housekeeping. I'm jumping all around here. I'm so excited. This is the last show. Show number 130. Once again, this is a safe place. There's no trolling, no cursing, no singing. God will speak directly to your heart, I hope. And let's see. You can go to Night Music, night-music.com. Let me throw that up real quick because I always try to throw up the banner that says night-music.com. And you can go there and you can find out show information, lyrics to the songs, Christmas songs, previous shows. And we got something coming up in probably 2 weeks. That's really, really, really amazing. As some of you know, I'm an actor and a writer in Los Angeles, and I'm also a musician and production manager in Nashville. I tell people that I live in the city of music, but I work in the city of angels. My name outside of this is Art Wasem. And I also have an IMDb page. You can go to artwasem.com. That's ARTWASEM.com and find out all the information. So if you go to the musician side, it actually comes here to night-music.com because this is, even though I've done music for most of my life, and there's recordings and there's, oh my gosh, there's Apple Music and I'm all over the intrawebs in a bunch of different bands and a bunch of different projects. I'm part of a church called Hillsong out in LA. They got a Grammy a couple years ago, and the pastor of Hillsong at that time, Brian Houston, said, "Hey, if you're part of the production team is, we got a Grammy, and so everybody here at the church, you're now part of this Grammy." And so that's great. We really had nothing to do with the Grammy at all, except that the pastor said that we all had a piece of it. So, okay, I got a piece of it. And that's how I got my Emmys and my Oscar nominations and everything. Nothing's in my name. It's because I worked on the team and they got the Grammy, or they got the Oscar, or they got the Emmy, or they got the MTV Music Award, or I got all these awards that I was just part of. I was part of the team. And God bless you that you included me into it, but I really didn't do anything except, be part of the team. So once again, into heaven, didn't really do anything, just part of the team. How do we get into heaven? You accept Jesus, he saves you from hell, and we die. Done. Where are you going to go? You're going to die. We're all going to die. We know we're going to die. Do you want to go to heaven? Do you want to go to hell? If you go to heaven, you live in heaven. If you go to hell, you live in hell for all eternity. It's not a 70 years and then then you did type thing. It's an eternal type thing. Do you go to heaven? Do you go to hell? Jesus came as a way to bring us all into heaven if you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Romans 10:19, if you believe in your heart that Jesus is God and confess with your mouth, you are saved. Period. Drop the mic. What do you have to do beyond that? Nothing. Just believe that Jesus is God and confess with your mouth that God raised him from the dead, and you are saved. Or if you believe in your heart that, yeah, that's it. Yeah. If you believe that Jesus is God and that God raised him from the dead, you're saved. That's it. And that's why we celebrate Christmas. Two big times, Christmas and Easter. Christmas is a big one in my point because God came to the earth. I remember a story one time where a guy came on the front porch and he saw a bunch of birds sitting on the front porch and it was snowing and these birds were starving and they were in the snow and they were cold. And it's like, man, if there's only some way I could get these birds to go into the barn because it's out of the wind, it's out of the snow. There's food there. They would have a great life if I could just get them into the barn. They don't have to stay there. They can fly in spring, but just get them out of the cold. If there's only some way to do it. And he thought of this idea. He goes, you know what? Every time I walk outside, the birds fly away. So he made a bird suit so he looked like a bird. And he walked out there and the birds didn't fly away. They thought, hey, he looks like us, he walks like us, he talks like us, he must be one of us. And then he walked across the yard into the barn and the birds followed him into the barn. Kind of like Jesus, I mean, he walked like us, he talked like us. If he showed up as God, we would fall dead on the spot and he would scare us. But because he looked like us and he was one of us and he walked with us, we accepted him. And so then he did all these miracles that were definitely not something we could do. And because of that, we were like, okay, well, he must be the Son of God. And it turned out that he was, because he died on Easter. He died on Good Friday and he was rose from the dead. And because of that, we're saved. I mean, it's just that simple. Christmas is a time we celebrate him being born. And that's all it is, a celebration of him being born. And so it's just an amazing, amazing time. I love it. Now, here's the good news. I told you I was a writer. I wrote a screenplay called The Birth. I was at church at Hillsong, and we're praising and we're worshiping and we're singing Christmas songs. It's Christmas time, and God speaks to me and says, "Hey, I want you to write my story." And I'm looking around going, "Yeah, I think everybody in here knows your story. It's Christmas. We're in church, you know?" He goes, "Well, I don't want you to write my story. I want you to write the story of my parents." And I'm like, "Great. I don't know anything about your parents." He goes, "Don't worry, I'll help you on that." So the very next day, I was in Glendale at the McDonald's on Glen Oaks Boulevard. And there's a group of people there. And you know how in the morning there's a group of all men, they're sitting around, they solve the problems of the earth. Well, this guy, he looks over and he says, "Hey, what's your problem?" And I said, "Well, I'm supposed to write a story about Jesus' parents. I don't know anything about them." He goes, "Oh, let me tell you. Um, Mary's father was named Joachim, and her mom's name was Anna, and he was a cantor in the church. And Joseph, we don't know much about his mom. His dad's name was Jacob, and they were carpenters. They worked for the Romans, and they brought him up from from Bethlehem." And I'm like, "Okay, seriously, how old are you people? Because how do you know this?" And he goes, "Well, basically, that voice you heard that told you to write their story?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Same voice spoke to me 2 years ago and told me that I was supposed to write a song that Mary would have sung to her child." And I'm like, yeah, he didn't know I was a musician. I'm like, "Did you write the song?" He goes, "No, I didn't see a reason to." Well, I said, "I'll be back in 2 weeks with the screenplay. I hope you have the song." I showed up in 2 weeks. I gave him the screenplay. He gave me the song. So then COVID hit. So, well, 3 times I thought the money to produce the show, had director, had everything all set up, had the actors. I mean, we were ready to go, and the money fell through 3 times. Then COVID hit. I ended up going to Nashville, where I am now, for 2 years. And during the last year, I got the idea to create a manuscript out of the screenplay. So a few months ago, I sat and I completely changed the screenplay into a manuscript. That manuscript will be available this year for the first time through Amazon Kindle and on KDP, which is Amazon's print on demand. And so you'll be able to actually buy the paperbound book of The Birth, the screenplay that I wrote, through my regular real name. My Knight, of course, is my stage name. My real name is Arthur Wasem, and that will be available. A link to it will be available on the website at night-music.com, and also we'll be doing Google alerts and stuff like that. So if you're interested in it, starting Thanksgiving, there will be a special night-music celebration of the release of the book, The Birth, and it's only going to be available for 6 weeks because it's from Thanksgiving through Christmas, and then the book, and we're not dropping the link. It's just I don't think there'll be much interest in it. So the official date will be will be Thanksgiving Day. Even though I'll start advertising the week before Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving Day through Christmas is the only time you'll be able to buy this book. And we don't know the price. I don't have any of that out yet. The Kindle book will probably be around $5. And so I don't know how much the print on demand will be. I'll get all that information when I set it all up. But needless to say, I have a manuscript coming out of an actual book called The Birth. And so it'll be a Christmas book that will be available this year. That's the big news that I have for you guys. So anyway, I'm going to play a few songs, a couple of Christmas songs, actually. You've heard them before. Sing along if you know them. This has been a fun show. This has been a great year. Thank you guys so much for joining. Yes. Somehow. Thank you once again for watching the Underground Gospel Show. My name is Knight, and I'm coming to you from the wonderful studio here at the Technology Engagement Center. And so this is our last show of the year. It's basically you're either getting this in October or in November, depending on whether you're a member of our Patreon page or not. And hopefully you will be able to order a copy of the book. I think I'm going to have a discount for the Patreon people. So definitely be a discount. So if you want a hard-covered book, it will probably be the same amount as the Kindle book, but we haven't worked things out yet. There'll be something for you. Watch the Discord page and keep an eye out for the specials that we have. So anyway, God bless you. Have a very, very Merry Christmas, and I'm hoping you have a wonderful 2023. 2023. Oh my gosh, how amazing is that? So anyway, here are the credits. And we can get down to the credits. And once again, have a very, very happy new year and a very beginning, just a wonderful new year and a great end of the year. Hope you get everything that you want, and I hope that you're blessed beyond belief. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Underground Gospel Show.